Ladies and gentlemen, let me speak to your hearts today. There's a power in silence. There's a strength in restraint. In this world, in this year 2025, where chaos and noise rule the day, the loudest voice in the room often drowns out the truth. But let me tell you something, real power doesn't need to shout. Real wisdom doesn't need to react. Not every battle deserves your presence. Not every insult deserves a reply. And not everyone who crosses your path is meant to walk beside you. Some people, they're distractions. They're storms that come to shake your peace. They thrive on drama, on the energy they can siphon from your spirit. But you don't have to play their game. You don't have to give them a single piece of yourself. Here's what you do instead. You cut them off silently, cleanly, and without fanfare. Not out of anger, not out of bitterness, but out of love. Love for yourself, love for your time, love for the peace that you're protecting like it's gold. Because it is. See silence? It's not weakness. Silence is a weapon. It's clarity. It's the sign that you know exactly who you are and what you deserve. When you stop engaging with the noise, you rob it of its power. When you walk away without a word, you show them and yourself that you're unshakable. You don't need to explain your absence. You don't need to justify your boundaries. Some doors close, and that's the end of it. You don't owe an apology for choosing your peace over their chaos. Because the truth is, silence speaks louder than any argument ever could. So as you move through this year, remember this: not everyone deserves access to you. Guard your energy. Protect your heart. And when the time comes to step away, don't react. Just leave. Because your peace is priceless in your silence. That's your greatest strength. Walk away, quietly and powerfully, and let them feel the weight of your absence. That's how you rise above. That's how you win. Silence is strength. Power doesn't need to be loud. Choosing silence over reaction shows self-control and maturity. Protect your peace. Your mental and emotional well-being are priceless. Don't let others disrupt your calm for the sake of unnecessary engagement. Boundaries are freedom. Cutting people off silently is not about cruelty. It's about establishing boundaries that preserve your dignity and self-worth. Don't feed the fire. Drama thrives on attention. When you refuse to react, you extinguish the flames of negativity. Actions speak louder than words. Walking away without a word sends a clearer, more profound message than any argument ever could. Prioritize self-love. Respecting yourself means refusing to let anyone drain your energy or disturb your peace. Silence is a declaration of your value. Silence is often misunderstood as weakness or passivity, but in truth, it is one of the most powerful tools at our disposal. In a world where reactions are instant, where everyone feels the need to have the last word, silence stands as an act of defiance, a mark of control, and a statement of strength. It's not about avoiding conflict out of fear. It's about understanding that not every situation deserves your energy or your words. When faced with provocation, our natural instinct is to react, to defend ourselves, to explain, to fight back. But reacting often gives away our power. It hands control of the situation to the other person, allowing them to dictate our emotions and our actions. Silence, on the other hand, reclaims that power. By refusing to engage, you send a clear message: I will not be pulled into your chaos. It shows that you are operating from a place of confidence and self-awareness, not insecurity or anger. Silence demands more courage than speaking. It takes strength to resist the urge to retaliate, to let someone's words or actions hang in the air without a response. This restraint doesn't come from weakness, it comes from wisdom. It's a recognition that your energy is valuable and that wasting it on trivial conflicts diminishes your focus on what truly matters. By remaining silent, you demonstrate that your peace and priorities are more significant than someone else's attempt to disrupt them. There is also an inherent dignity in silence. Words, when spoken in haste or anger, can often lead to regret. A silent response, however, carries an air of mystery and control. It makes people pause and question their own actions. Silence forces the other person to confront themselves without the distraction of your reaction. They're left with their own behavior to consider, and often, this is far more impactful than any argument or rebuttal could be. Furthermore, silence is a tool for self-preservation. When you choose not to react, you protect your inner calm. You create space for yourself to process, reflect, and decide on the best course of action, if any is even necessary. Silence allows you to detach from the emotional intensity of the moment and approach the situation with a clear mind. This clarity is invaluable in a world where emotional outbursts often lead to unnecessary conflict and stress. Silence also sets boundaries. It's a way of saying, I do not allow you to dictate my emotions or invade my mental space. These boundaries are not for the other person's benefit, they're for yours. They're a reminder to yourself of your own worth and the importance of protecting your energy. By choosing silence, you reinforce these boundaries, demonstrating that you value yourself enough not to engage in negativity or drama. Moreover, silence can be transformative. It shifts the dynamic of the interaction, placing the responsibility for resolution or escalation squarely on the other person. It disrupts the cycle of reaction and counter-reaction, creating an opportunity for growth for them and for you. In the quiet space of your silence, there is potential for understanding, for change, and for peace. In the end, silence is not just an absence of words, it's a presence of strength. It's the ability to hold your ground without aggression, to stay true to yourself without compromise, and to maintain your peace in the face of provocation. It is a reminder that you are in control of your own narrative and that no one else has the power to dictate how you respond. Silence is, and always will be, a mark of true inner strength. Protecting your peace is one of the most important acts of self-care you can practice. In today's fast-paced world, where distractions and negativity often bombard us, safeguarding your mental and emotional well-being is not just a luxury, it's a necessity. Your peace is your sanctuary, the space where you can recharge, reflect, and be your authentic self. It's the foundation of your happiness and the compass that guides you through life's challenges. Peace doesn't mean the absence of problems or challenges, it means the ability to remain calm and grounded amidst them. It is the inner state of balance and serenity that allows you to navigate life with clarity and purpose. However, this state of peace is constantly under threat from external forces. Whether it's the demands of work, the expectations of others, or the negativity that can seep in from toxic relationships, there are always challenges trying to disrupt your equilibrium. That's why protecting your peace is so essential. It keeps you centered and resilient. One of the first steps to protecting your peace is recognizing that you have the right to do so. Far too often, people feel obligated to engage in situations or relationships that drain their energy simply because they don't want to appear rude or dismissive. But the truth is, you are not required to entertain negativity or tolerate disrespect. Choosing to prioritize your well-being is not selfish, it's a sign of self-respect. It's a declaration that your mental health and emotional stability are worth more than temporary validation or approval from others. Protecting your peace also requires discernment, knowing when to walk away from situations that don't serve you. This could mean stepping back from a heated argument, declining an invitation to engage in unnecessary drama, or even distancing yourself from relationships that consistently bring negativity into your life. It's not about being cold or unkind, it's about valuing your inner tranquility enough to let go of what disrupts it. Another important aspect of safeguarding your peace is setting boundaries. Boundaries are not walls meant to shut people out, they are guidelines that define how you wish to be treated and what you are willing to accept. Clear boundaries communicate to others that your time, energy, and emotions are precious. Enforcing these boundaries may sometimes mean saying no even when it's uncomfortable, but it's a necessary step to maintain your peace. Practicing mindfulness is also a powerful way to protect your peace. By staying present in the moment, you can prevent your mind from being consumed by worries about the future or regrets about the past. Mindfulness helps you focus on what truly matters and creates a buffer against the noise and distractions of the outside world. Whether through meditation, journaling, or simply taking a few moments each day to breathe deeply and reflect, mindfulness keeps you anchored in your own sense of calm. Another key to maintaining peace is being selective about the energy you allow into your life. Surround yourself with people who uplift and inspire you, who respect your boundaries and share your values. Conversely, be willing to distance yourself from those who consistently bring negativity or chaos. Remember, the company you keep has a significant impact on your mindset and emotional state. Choose wisely. Lastly, protecting your peace means being kind to yourself. It's about recognizing your own worth and treating yourself with the same care and compassion you would offer a loved one. This includes forgiving yourself for mistakes, celebrating your achievements, and allowing yourself the time and space to rest and recharge. Self-compassion is the cornerstone of inner peace because it ensures that your relationship with yourself remains strong and positive, no matter what challenges you face. Ultimately, your peace is your responsibility. It is your sacred space, the essence of your well-being. Protect it fiercely, nurture it regularly, and prioritize it unapologetically. In doing so, you create a life that reflects your values, respects your boundaries, and honors your true self. Boundaries are the invisible lines that define how you wish to be treated, what you're willing to accept, and how you choose to interact with the world around you. They are not about keeping people out, they are about keeping yourself safe emotionally, mentally, and sometimes even physically. Boundaries are the ultimate act of self-respect and self-care, and they provide the freedom to live authentically and with purpose. Establishing boundaries is not an act of aggression or hostility, it's an expression of your needs and values. It's about recognizing your worth and standing firm in the knowledge that you deserve to be treated with respect and kindness. Far too often, people allow their boundaries to be crossed because they fear rejection, conflict, or being perceived as selfish. However, compromising your boundaries to appease others only leads to resentment, exhaustion, and a diminished sense of self. When you set boundaries, you take ownership of your life. You decide what is acceptable and what is not, rather than letting others dictate those terms for you. This ownership empowers you to make decisions that align with your values and protect your well-being. It allows you to prioritize your needs without guilt, ensuring that you have the energy and space to focus on what truly matters to you. One of the most significant benefits of boundaries is the clarity they provide. Clear boundaries eliminate confusion and miscommunication by defining expectations and limits up front. When others know where you stand, they are less likely to overstep, and you are less likely to feel taken advantage of. This clarity fosters healthier relationships as it encourages mutual respect and understanding. However, setting boundaries is only part of the equation. Enforcing them is where the real challenge lies. Enforcing boundaries requires consistency, confidence, and sometimes a willingness to confront uncomfortable situations. It means being prepared to say no when necessary and standing firm, even in the face of resistance. This can be difficult, especially when dealing with loved ones or people who are used to overstepping. But remember, every time you enforce a boundary, you reinforce your self-respect and teach others how to treat you. Boundaries also play a crucial role in protecting your energy. Life is full of demands, and it's impossible to say yes to everything without burning out. Boundaries allow you to conserve your energy for the things that truly matter, whether that's pursuing your goals, nurturing meaningful relationships, or simply taking time for yourself. By setting limits on what you're willing to give, you ensure that you have enough left for yourself. Another important aspect of boundaries is the role they play in fostering self-awareness. Setting boundaries requires you to reflect on your values, priorities, and limits. It prompts you to ask yourself what you truly want and need, and to identify the areas where you may be compromising too much. This self-awareness is invaluable as it allows you to live more intentionally and align your actions with your authentic self. Boundaries also help you build stronger, healthier relationships. When you establish and communicate your boundaries, you create a foundation of respect and trust. You show others that you value yourself and, in turn, encourage them to do the same. Healthy boundaries also prevent resentment, as they ensure that you're not giving more than you're comfortable with or sacrificing your own needs for the sake of others. It's important to remember that boundaries are not static. They can evolve over time as your needs and circumstances change. What works for you today may not work for you tomorrow, and that's okay. The key is to remain attuned to your feelings and willing to adjust your boundaries as needed. Flexibility doesn't mean compromising your core values. It means being adaptable and responsive to your own growth. Ultimately, boundaries are a form of freedom. They free you from the burden of people-pleasing, from the exhaustion of overcommitting, and from the toxicity of unhealthy relationships. They empower you to live with intention, integrity, and peace. By setting and enforcing boundaries, you create a life that reflects your values, respects your worth, and prioritizes your well-being. Negativity and drama thrive on attention. They are like fires that grow larger and more consuming when fed with fuel. When you engage with these forces, whether through arguing, justifying yourself, or retaliating, you inadvertently give them power. The more you react, the more the cycle continues, and the more your peace and energy are consumed. The key to breaking this cycle is simple but profound: don't feed the fire. Choosing not to engage doesn't mean you're ignoring the issue or being passive. On the contrary, it's an intentional act of self-preservation and strength. When someone attempts to draw you into their negativity, they're often looking for validation for their behavior. They want to provoke a reaction, to see you stoop to their level, and to make you part of their storm. But by refusing to participate, you deny them that satisfaction and maintain your own integrity. Not feeding the fire starts with awareness. You have to recognize the moments when someone is baiting you into a reaction. These moments often come disguised as criticism, gossip, or outright provocation. Instead of immediately reacting, take a step back. Pause. Reflect on whether responding will add value to the situation or if it will only escalate the tension. More often than not, you'll find that silence or non-engagement is the better choice. Silence is powerful because it interrupts the expected cycle of conflict. When someone lashes out and you don't respond, they're left with their own emotions and actions to process. This creates a mirror effect. They're forced to confront themselves without the distraction of your reaction. In many cases, this can lead to self-reflection on their part, as they realize their behavior isn't getting the result they anticipated. Silence then becomes a tool for de-escalation and growth. Another aspect of not feeding the fire is understanding that not everything deserves your energy. Your time and emotional resources are finite, and you must be selective about where you invest them. Engaging in every argument or conflict only drains you, leaving you with less energy for the things and people that truly matter. By refusing to feed the fire, you reclaim your power and redirect it toward more meaningful pursuits. It's also important to recognize that feeding the fire often comes at the expense of your peace of mind. Engaging in negativity pulls you into a space of stress and agitation, making it harder to think clearly or feel grounded. The longer you stay in that space, the more it impacts your mental and emotional well-being. By stepping away, you protect your peace and create room for calm and clarity. Not feeding the fire doesn't mean you're avoiding conflict altogether. There are times when standing up for yourself or addressing an issue is necessary and appropriate. The key is to discern between situations that require your voice and those that do not. If the conflict is trivial, unproductive, or driven purely by someone else's need for drama, it's often best to let it burn out on its own. Without fuel, the fire will eventually extinguish itself. A practical way to practice this is by setting clear boundaries. Let others know what you're willing to engage in and what you're not. For example, you might choose not to participate in conversations filled with gossip or negativity. Or you might walk away from an argument when it becomes disrespectful or unproductive. These actions send a clear message: you value your peace too much to let it be disrupted by unnecessary drama. It's also helpful to focus on your own response rather than trying to control others. You can't change how someone else behaves, but you can choose how you react or don't react. By staying calm, composed, and silent when necessary, you demonstrate emotional intelligence and self-control. This not only protects your peace, but also sets an example for others to follow. Ultimately, not feeding the fire is about prioritizing your well-being and refusing to be drawn into negativity. It's a declaration that your energy is precious, your peace is sacred, and your time is too valuable to waste on trivial conflicts. By practicing this principle, you free yourself from the cycle of drama and create space for positivity, growth, and peace in your life. Actions often speak louder than words. In a world where people are quick to argue, defend, and explain themselves, the power of walking away, of letting your actions do the talking, cannot be overstated. Silence, paired with decisive action, sends a message that words never could. When you choose to walk away without a word, you demonstrate a level of confidence, self-respect, and emotional maturity that cannot be ignored. It's a statement that says, I value myself too much to engage in this. Walking away is not about defeat or avoidance, it's about mastery over your own emotions and choices. When you refuse to be drawn into arguments or unnecessary conflicts, you reclaim control over your narrative. Words, especially in heated situations, often spiral out of control, creating more confusion and tension than resolution. But walking away without explanation shows that you prioritize clarity and peace over winning a fleeting argument. The impact of actions is magnified because they are deliberate and tangible. When you remove yourself from a toxic situation or choose not to engage with negativity, the absence of your presence speaks volumes. The other party is left to reflect on their own behavior, confronted by the void you leave behind. This silence is often more powerful than any retort because it forces introspection. It shifts the focus away from a back-and-forth exchange and places the responsibility for resolution or the lack thereof squarely on the other person. Walking away also establishes boundaries without needing verbal reinforcement. It's a non-verbal declaration that your time and energy are valuable and that you won't expend them on situations that don't serve your well-being. This act of self-preservation isn't about punishing the other person, but about protecting yourself. It's about knowing when to let go and choosing not to participate in dynamics that compromise your peace. Furthermore, walking away without a word is a demonstration of self-confidence. It shows that you don't feel the need to explain, justify, or seek validation for your actions. When you're secure in your values and decisions, the opinions or reactions of others hold less weight. This confidence is compelling because it comes from within. It's not reliant on external approval or understanding. The act of walking away then becomes a testament to your inner strength and self-assurance. The ripple effect of such actions is profound. Others take notice when you walk away with grace and composure. It sets a standard for how you expect to be treated and how you handle conflict. This can inspire respect even from. Self-love is the foundation of a fulfilling and balanced life. It's the deep understanding that your worth is inherent and that you deserve kindness, respect, and care not only from others, but most importantly from yourself. Prioritizing self-love isn't selfish, it's essential. It's about recognizing that you can't pour from an empty cup, and that by valuing yourself, you set the standard for how the world should treat you. At its core, self-love is about accepting yourself fully, the good, the bad, and the areas still under construction. It's not about being perfect or meeting some external standard of success or beauty. Instead, it's about embracing your flaws and strengths with. In the end, true strength lies in protecting your peace, valuing your energy, and setting boundaries that honor your self-worth. Walk away from what doesn't serve you, respond with silence when words aren't needed, and let your actions reflect your priorities. Embrace self-love as your foundation, and you'll find freedom, clarity, and unshakable peace.